Breaking Point, Heather Cross.
My door is always open. My house is safe. Coffee can be on in a minute. And a dining room table is a place of peace and non-judgment. Anyone who needs to chat is welcome anytime. It's no good suffering in silence. I have a fridge and food and coffee and tea in the cabinet, listening ears and a shoulder to cry on. I will always be available. And you are always welcome. You are never really alone. Disclaimer, come as you are. Pajamas, ball gowns, tuxedos, flip-flops, etc. How many people have seen this posted or something similar posted to this on social media recently? It was really big a few years ago when Robin Williams took his own life. It was big again a few years ago when both Kate Spade and Anthony Bourdain took their lives within a week of each other. I've seen it more recently because of the increase in teen and youth suicide rates. And yet, how many people that have posted that actually mean it? I can tell you from firsthand experience, it's really easy to put that out there. Put the expectation on the person that is struggling, that is fighting thoughts. Fighting thoughts of, you know what, I'm not good enough. I can't do this anymore. I'm trying so hard. I want to live, but what's the point? Everything I do is wrong. Everything I do just messes up. I'm a burden to my family. I'm a burden to my friends. I can't talk to them about this. They don't want to hear it. It makes it worse when you have been labeled as someone that is attention seeking. It makes it even worse when you reach out to the professionals and you ask for help, but you're so distraught that you can't find the words. So you reach out and you knock on the door and you're shaking. And they come out. And the first individual came out. He could tell. He could tell I was in distress. He could tell something was wrong. And then his coworker came out. Heather, we don't have time for your games. You better go home. We're not in the mood tonight. We're too busy. And that is what I did. I went home that night completely and totally deflated and defeated. I woke up the next morning to the phone call I knew was coming, but I still dreaded because I wanted to believe that I had hope. When that phone call came, and I answered it, and the vet was on the other end of the line, even before he spoke, I knew my precious baby boy was gone. Tiberius Bones Croce. He was the first dog that I had that was mine, only mine. And he was 19 months old. Notice I said months, not years. He didn't even make it to his second birthday. And he died. And with it, everything went with it. Now see, some people think that I tried to take my own life because my dog died. That was one part of it. That was my breaking point. But see, for months and months before that, I had been struggling at work. I was miserable. I tried to reach out to friends. I tried to tell them what was going on, but they didn't really want to hear about it. Because our society wants you to believe that life is all about sunshines and rainbows and puppies. And if you're having a bad day, well, you just need to let it go. Just think happy thoughts. And if you got some pixie dust, that works really well, and you get a fly off to Neverland. But guess what? I didn't have any. And so I continued to struggle, and I continued to fight. And months before that fateful morning when I found out that he was gone, I thought I was going to lose him. And I got those 3 months with him, and that was great. But I wasn't prepared for him to die. And people knew. He had been at the vet for 4 days. They knew that I was struggling. They knew that I needed support. And yet they didn't want to give it to me. But I reached out. And I asked for help. And the only way that I knew how, but I was so distraught, I could not form words. The problem was, because I had a reputation, they ignored me and they sent me away. And the next morning when I took that fistful of pills, my intent was to drive to the river where we used to hike and just jump in the water so no one would find me and they would never really know what happened. But instead of turning left, I turned right. I went to PetSmart, and the manager there recognized that something was going on. She called the paramedics. She got my butt to the hospital. That's why I am standing here today to tell you, if you are going to post things like this on Facebook, you better damn well mean it. And before you post something like this, remember that if someone is really at that point and if they're really struggling, they're not always going to have the wherewithal to say, you know what, I need help. I need to reach out to somebody. Instead, you need to watch out for the people in your lives. Be there for them every day so that when you see that they're struggling, you can be there to support them. And you can reach out to them instead of expecting them to do it for you, to you just because you post something on Facebook.